Welcome, everyone, to the Creative Talk. Hello, everyone. This is John Santos, and today we have a very special guest. I am blown away. We had this conversation off cam, and she is very smart, very a person full of wisdom. That's why I'm very excited to start a conversation with this person. She is a money builder. Take note, a money builder, an author, and a speaker. She is very passionate about helping people achieve their financial independence. So you can really see the concern, the heart of this person to really uplift people, starting in money mindset and actually to reflect it in the real life. So I would like to welcome our very own special guest here in the Creative Talk. This episode, Safiya Parker. Hey, hey. How are you?
How are you? I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited, actually. I'm excited.
Thank you for that intro. That was and what's really cool is you said wisdom. That's actually what the meaning of my name is, but that's a whole different conversation.
Really? Really?
Yeah. There's I want to say that one's Greek. Greek is wisdom. The way, like the origin.
Wow.
The origin is Arabic, but there's so many ways, like when we were just talking about cultures coming together. One of the meanings is wisdom. So
Whoa.
Good job, parents.
Whoa. and you see, it really resonates to what you do. Your field of expertise is, correct me if I'm wrong, if you summarize it, the core is renewing mindset, giving information, spreading learning. And for me, above from skill, above from educational background, that's wisdom. That's something. It's very easy to teach something, but without wisdom to craft everything so that you can change people's lives. So that's, for me, is really wisdom.
I love that because I don't think a lot of people understand like the difference between education and wisdom, and what you just you hit it really on the head.
Well, same as our viewers and our listeners, I am really excited. I'm really excited, first, to learn. Second is to just listen to what great story you're about to share. Tell me, Safiya, um, who inspired you, or what, it may be a situation that inspired you to be a great personality that you are right now. Please share us your story of how you came to be.
Awesome. So I know my story is very unique. I'm actually adopted, and it's an open adoption. So I know I have four parents in a way other people don't. Like they might have a stepmom. Like I just have four parents.
Whoa, that was like an introduction bomb.
Because when you talk about personality,
wait. You said, let me get this straight, okay? So four parents. Can you not go into details, because that's really private, but can you give us a little bit of a background? How did that happen? You said you were adopted and you have four parents. So why? What happened? The reason why I'm asking this is I believe things happen for a reason, right?
Everything.
So everything in your story was intricately made to contribute or influence you to be a great person you are right now. So obviously I don't know the details, and I'm very excited to hear it from you. So come on, I'm excited.
And I couldn't help but say it because you said, how did this personality come, where did it come from? And I know it's like you said, everything happens for a reason. And I just know how one decision makes a difference. It really does, because my parents, who I will always call mom and dad, so that's who I'm always going to talk about. Mom and dad, they couldn't have children, and they were in the process of looking to adopt. My dad used to work with my birth mother, so she was pregnant with me at the time, and I'm talking about very Bible-based, like she came back and was like, hey, God told me this baby is for you. And this
Wow.
is at a, this is at a time where it's like, why are you giving up babies? Like
Right, right.
like that was uncalled for.
Do you
Especially
believe in
because
God, Sophia? Sorry.
I
Do you believe
I
in
do.
God?
I
All right. Okay. Please continue. Yeah.
do. And especially since I have brothers and sisters from my birth family. So it's like, why did I come? And now it's like, oh, well, we're not gonna keep you because we're gonna give you to this family. So I know so strongly the power of one choice. Because if all of a sudden they said, hey, no, we want to keep her, or like, or hey, I think I heard a word from God, but I don't want to hear that voice. So the fact that my mother and father took that decision to say, hey, we're going to follow it and put you in the hands of this family, I know that's my personality of openness. Like, I don't know where else I could have learned it that quickly besides my parents being so open to God to move and be moved by Him. So that's where I feel like my personality, the environment I got to grow up in, all because of some obedience. And that is who I am today. That's the personality.
Wow. I mean, it's just mind blowing. And, we're not highlighting any religion here. We're talking about being obedient and establishing a relationship with God. And, hearing from them. This is based on your story. I'm not making these things up. So, um, your parents really established, I assume, they established a relationship with God. Therefore, they can, that's how they can really say that this is coming from Him, and this is what we need to do, and this is what we need to, talk about, pray about, and really follow. Right?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm telling you, like the fact that I can still call them. I text my dad. He lives in a different state that I'll probably be visiting in a couple weeks, and I was just like, "Hey, I'm coming down." It's like, "Yep, love to have you." So it just one
Are
of
they
those
close
things.
also? I mean, your parents, are they all close? Are they okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, my dad worked with my birth mother, and that's how they already formed a relationship. Like she was
Hmm.
on her way passing through, and that's part of my personality and traits. Where if I'm coming to your city, like honestly, if I came over there and I had your number, I'd be like, "Hey, are you anywhere close?" And I would let you say yes or no. Because if I'm in the area, I would love to lay eyes upon you. I love to hug you. Like, so that's who both my parents are. Like all my parents are. So it was the same thing. She was like, "Hey, I'll be in the Maryland area. Can I come by and see you?" And it just happened to be alignment of, hey, we're actually looking to adopt. We're taking the classes. We are preparing. And there's something different when people are preparing for your existence. Like,
I love
yeah.
that. I love that. Well, if after this COVID thing, you can always visit us in the Philippines, so we can
That's
have
me.
that coffee and
Coffee.
tea, wonderful conversation. I love the story of how you get those wonderful character. Now, who influenced you, or what influenced you to be in your field of expertise? Let's talk about your um, field of expertise that focus on financial freedom, financial literacy. You're such an amazing personality because dealing with money and mindset, that's not easy. I mean, it's very easy to read, to craft something, but for you to practice, for a man, for a mankind to really adopt it in his lifestyle in this time, in this modern age, where credit cards are everywhere, um mobile plans are everywhere, gadgets, cars, man. I mean, I don't know in your area, but I've seen ads that if you purchase one car, you get one for free, and then there's no interest. Yeah, I think that's it's British models, British brands. But in this era that we live in, money mindset, money literacy, financial freedom, that's something that we really need. And this is your forte. This is your expertise. Now, what push you? What catapult you in that core?
I always start by saying I love money, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Who doesn't?
I believe people should say that line and believe it more often. And some of the reasons I got kind of into it is, again, going back to that upbringing, but because my parents prepared for me, there was a lot of different things when I know in other families may not have been prepared for. My parents were a little bit older than, quote unquote, normal.
Right.
They were established. So I kind of got to see, like, hey, this is where we are in life. And we're talking about saving money. And from there, I was able to kind of learn for myself things like going to lunch with $1 in my pocket, but I had my lunch with me. So it's like, oh, well, I have $1 and I have my lunch. Well, I'm kind of full. Let me just save this $1. The next day I have a different $1. So now I have $2. So now I'm learning, like, hey, delayed gratification. But of course I'm not thinking all of this. Like, I'm just like, I'm full. Like, I have my belly's full and now I got $2. Now I got 3, 4, 5. So I learned about delayed gratification, where then saving became more of a habit for me. And with that, I found out more and more that it was a talent and it was an interest of mine, because I'm like, hey, if this is really what is making the world go round, like, somebody should know about it. Like, somebody. I think it was high school. You get to choose the elective of personal finance, but that's high school. Like, why do we wait so late? And if I didn't want to go in that major, then what would have happened?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I went in business. When I went in business, I was still interested in, you guys call it university. But I went into business and I started doing internships in money. And I'm just like, wow, why is no one talking about this? Like, things like investments, insurances, all of these key terms that I'm like, I've never heard it in a conversation of positivity. We're not even gonna, you talked about plastic, we don't even get into credit cards.
I love that. I love that. Before you continue, I like what you said, that you never heard it that positive, right? Because there's a thing that those are, money is evil. Even the biblical scripture is delivered and adopted in a wrong context. Like, money is the root of all evil. That's what they've been spreading out, and that's what I heard before. But it's really the love of money that is the root of all evil, right? So that gives you a different context of the totality of that statement. So money is not evil on its own. And I love what you said, that you haven't heard that positive, meaning there's a flip side, the other side of the coin. It is a good thing, but how? Now that's where the magic begins.
Right, that's the mindset. Because, like you said, you've heard the evil money, like you've heard, and then what happens is, while you hear everything, you start adopting all these. But with that adoption, many times you don't want to go against the status quo. So it's like, all right, cool, money is evil. And you just kind of leave it at that, because who's going to sit here and have a conversation and say, hey, I love money? Like, you can't love evil. Well, I love it. So, I want you to hear that more than you hear evil.
But even though when you say that, when you say that I love money, there will be a majority that will say, what's wrong with you? Why do you love money? Are you greedy? There's a negative effect about that, right?
There's a negative effect. And I tell people that negative effect is the reason your account may be negative.
So true.
Like, I try to keep it very straight. Like, this is a real conversation. Everything that I talk about is real when it comes to mindset, because when you say, oh my gosh, I can't say I love money. All right, then, it won't love you. That's really a thing.
What was the reaction in their faces when you said that? Have you ever focused on their faces when you actually give that statement? It was like, boom.
And I get different reactions because it's just like, I do have people who are very defensive. No, I like money. I like money. Yeah. I'm like, okay, so why can't you tell me where the last dollar went? Like, for things that you love, like I can, for things even I don't really love, I can always tell you where my cell phone is.
Ooh, like, there you go.
Like I can always tell you where I last ate, like, food or something like that. So why can't you say, my last dollar went to my student loans, like literally 2 hours ago. I paid off some student loans.
I'm so excited to dig in the core of the topic. But I have this simple question that I want to throw in before we really dig in. What do you think is, or what are some points do you have in mind that really mess up the money mindset of the people?
Great question, because I definitely talk about that. We mentioned it. What may is definitely what you learned. So one of the parts of the mindset building, I tell people to gather all your thoughts, whether it's money can't buy happiness, money makes you evil, money doesn't grow on trees, like whatever that story is, money brings me love, whatever you think it is, bring all those thoughts together and then rewrite the story. That's what you needed. Like rewrite it that money loves me. Money, is chasing after me. Money has a safe place in my house or in my pocket. But when you talk about what are some of those negative, it's just being continuously passed on of money. The lack of money is evil, but the same is when you have abundance of money. Like I never understand that. How can both be evil? If they can both be evil, then they can both be good. Like
what was the greatest challenge you encountered in dealing with money mindset? It may be with your clients, with your partners, with your colleagues, or even yourself. Greatest challenge you ever encountered, and how did you deal with it?
So I did go into the financial industry. So my greatest challenge or my biggest wake up call was that my love for money was a talent. Like, because I really enjoyed it, when I started sitting down with people who were like, I cannot save to save my life. And I'm like, what? Like, I would, what had to wake me up so much, because I'm just like, I can't fathom too much. And that's just like anything else. When you grow up in a certain world, like the sky's always blue, like no one's going to tell you different. Like, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Truman Show.
Yeah.
He believed that world was so real. And, you're watching the movie like, yeah, it's real too. Baby. You're like, hold on. You literally move pieces? So it's kind of the same thing. So when your world is whatever it was around money, growing up, I only heard credit card debt. Like, I didn't understand what that, I'm like, okay, debt just sounds like a bad word. I don't know what that means. So it wasn't until I got into banking that I'm like, why don't I have a credit card? Like, what? No one told me. Like, so that was really one of my biggest challenges, to start first to understand that everyone isn't the same. Everyone isn't wired the same. Two, to educate people on things they were never educated. That's really the scary part, because we never had these conversations. We talk about how people always believe that they have 100% of the knowledge.
Ooh.
Like, and you, that just doesn't make sense. Like, there's no way in the world I would ever say I have all the knowledge. If I did not talk to you today, I wouldn't know what's happening over there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I know when I was doing the DMs, I didn't even understand that we were 12 hours apart. I'm like, wow, we're really 12 hours apart. But while I'm sleeping, you're doing your thing, not thinking about what's over here. And while I'm awake, I'm not thinking about what's over there. So don't believe you have 100% of the information. But I ran into that a lot too. Like, oh no, I know everything. So now it's the education of those things people didn't know. So those were my two challenges. And I think the way that I was able to come around is first understanding, because once I got that understanding, I could start to find a solution. And my solution was really the mindset to have these conversations, put it in a plan, however they needed it. Like, hey, I'm talking about $5, like literally $5 put away.
Right.
Like once you get happy there, the reward go to 10. Or, you know, play with it yourself. Like if it's, hey, I did 5 this week, so now I can get an ice cream cone. So I don't ever want people to feel like, oh, in order to save, I have to sacrifice my whole life. But really, if you don't save, you're already sacrificing. So choose your advice.
I love that. I love that. I love the, your philosophy and how it combines it with your experience. It's just an amazing, a powerful collection of knowledge and wisdom. Very nice, very nice. And I'm learning a lot, saving. It's actually a very difficult thing, right? You've been dealing with mindset. And like what you said earlier, one of the hardest part is, when people thinks that what they have in mind is really right. And obviously you need to, it's either prove them wrong, or how do you deconstruct that mindset that needs to be changed?
I question it for them. That's really what I do. So when someone's like, oh, well, for example, credit cards are bad. What are bad? What's bad about them?
Oof. Are they are pushed to be defensive in that certain point of that discussion?
I haven't. It might be my delivery, because I say things very, here you go. I just kind of drop it in your lap. Like if you're gonna pick it up, that's up to you. But I'm like, hey, what's bad about them? And it's more, I don't get a defense because it's a thought jogger. It's like, well, they're bad because, because
they don't even know why it's bad, right?
Like, and I'm just like, okay, once you get your thoughts, we can talk about it. Like, what's bad? And hey, once I get that out, I'm like, can I share some of the positives with you? One of the positives is I love cash back cards.
Right.
Like when you start swiping and you have an opportunity to earn more money, that's a way you can save. Like if you weren't going to get that money anyway, right? Like if you were going to use your debit card the whole time, change it to your credit card. When you change it to your credit card, they give you a percentage. Is it $5 million? No. But is it doing the work that you have not yet found the discipline to do? Yes.
Boom. Wow. Knowledge bomb there. Very nice. Very nice, Safiya. Okay. So you've given us, a lot of pointers. You shared your story. That's really awesome. What do you think are the ways to transform your money mindset?
So I think some of the ways is just really I said it kind of earlier, but to definitely gather those thoughts. I would say journal about it.
Ooh,
because sometimes that helps you see a map. There's 2 types of maps. There's a map I help people where it comes to the financial journey of this is where you want to go. And then there's a map of, hey, I don't, this is a map for someone behind me. And sometimes that
Ah.
person may be you. Like once you get to your destination, it was like, wow, I found this hard. Wow,
Ooh,
I
okay.
wanted to purchase a home and never thought I could, but I wrote it here and somehow I'm in my own home. So when you journal all those different thoughts, one, they're out of you. Because I think a lot of what we do, uh, age of social media, I want to blame, but it's just a lot of overthinking. Like it's just a lot of
Right,
overthinking. You
right, right. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
So if you somehow get those thoughts out of your head, you're literally going to be over the thinking now. Like it's like I don't have to think about this because it's done. Um, but I would definitely say gather. I would say journal, and if I could give one more thing when it comes to transform, I tell people forgive yourself.
Ooh,
Like
can we dig in deeper with that thought? Forgive yourself. Why and how?
I get very transparent, like with people saying things like, hey, it's not in our education. Why are you blaming yourself for things you never learned?
Hmm.
So if you're going to blame yourself, like, please just forgive yourself, because sometimes I think we need to forgive ourselves and ask permission. I don't know why, but something about, hey, can I purchase this candy bar today? Yeah, I deserve it. Something like that. Can I forgive myself? Yeah, because guess what? I didn't save the $5 this week, but I actually am not off from my goal. Like my goal for the month may have been 100. So now, I don't have to fall off the train, and I have that happen a lot. People are like, "Oh, I'm trying to save $5 every week. Oh, I missed a week. I suck. Life's over. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be broke forever." It's like,
Right,
no,
right,
forgive.
right.
There's a couple more days in that week. Maybe you'll find $5. And when you say how to forgive, just be kind to yourself. Like, be very forgiving because as millennials, as race, religion, whatever it is, you're only taking what was passed to you.
Mm.
And so many, when we were talking offline, we were talking about haves and have nots. If you are part of the have not crew, you have not this knowledge either. So, because of that, now you're beating yourself up over things that never got the chance to flourish or grow. So just don't cut off the plant before it grows. Like you still can water
Ooh.
it, it can still grow. Like it has so many twists and turns.
Wow, that was like fully loaded of learning and wisdom, Sophia. I really enjoyed and I learned a lot. And I'm sure our viewers and listeners will, it's either inspired, motivated, and just, have a different perspective in life. Thank you for sharing that, Sophia. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And like I let people know this is a financial journey, but you are a human on the financial journey. So it's like you messed up so many times before. Um, I hope that people are to a point that they kind of brush those mistakes off now. But I know everybody's journey is different. So that's why you have to hear from me today, forgive yourself. There's many things that I'm like, oops, I made a mistake. And I'm just like, keep going. But that's
Ooh,
where I am now. Like,
right, right.
uh,
No, I totally understand and I totally agree. And it's like what I've said earlier off cam when we were having a conversation. This set of knowledge tips, this is what the world needs. This is what people needs. Not because that, people are doing it the wrong way, but this will really benefit themselves to uh, maybe not to get rich, but to have that peace in life, right? The ease of that burden and just to know that you are comfortably living, that's a start to reach your goal and to achieve that success, right?
And I think people are, I believe wholeheartedly, we're chasing more peace than riches. I think a lot of people attach riches to peace.
Mm,
And then that's when we get into the evils of money.
yeah.
But really, what we're chasing is peace. And I think a lot of people in 2020 just said, hey, I want some peace. Like, if I
Yeah.
could just get some woosah, like, whew, that is
Ooh.
what I'm searching for.
And yeah, that is, I think, is something that people really need. You know, that peace that you can sleep soundly at night, and then when you wake up, you are excited because you know that there's a bright day filled with peace, love, and joy. And I believe you can achieve that. One of the elements is for you to understand the value of learning financial freedom, financial literacy, and the perspective that you share in your career. So there's a lot of elements, but this is, I believe, is one of those.
Yeah, and I'll share because I'm very transparent. I know that there is financial history that I have. I still don't know everything. I messed up in September. I went over my spending limit. I bounced back in October. Like, that's the forgiveness. That's the transparency that, people are like, oh, well, the rich people don't ever like, or, oh, well, people with money. Like, yo, you find out your journey, you find out what your peace level is, because very honestly, when I was in university or college, my peace level when it came to money and other people's peace level were two different peace levels. Like, I know people who were like, I can't afford to get a fast food tray, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I
Yeah.
would be over here like, I can afford this movie, but I'm not going to do it. Like, so that's two different, peace of mind. Like, someone who's like, hey, I'm very comfortable with this number. Someone else might look at your number and be like, what? Stick with your number. That's all that matters. This is your journey, your life.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. Thank you once again. Now, Safiya, we reach the part of the show that we will play a game. Okay? So, the first part, hearing your inspiring story, those knowledge bombs, tips about financial freedom, fully loaded. Now, this is where we get to relax and show that, hey, in spite of Safiya being a money builder, an author, and a speaker, she's also a human being that laughs, that sometimes don't know what to say. So, this is where we show your part of being, a simple, funny, and normal human being. All right. So we call this part the creative fast talk. Okay. How the game works is we will ask you questions. I will be asking you questions that are so random, it has nothing to do with your background, with the topic, or anything. It's very random, like very random.
And I'm a random person, so beware of these answers, y'all. It's also very
Right. Okay. Okay. Don't spend too much time thinking of what the answer is. First thing that comes into your mind, boom, shoot. All right?
food.
Ready? Okay, let's go. First question, text or call?
Text.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
The cinemas or social media?
Safely right now is social media, but I would definitely be in a movie theater.
Right. Books or TV?
Books.
What's your favorite book of all time?
All time, Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill.
Ooh, nice. If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
Ooh. For whatever reason, a flamingo popped in my head. And I think. You said say what it is. So
Right.
flamingo popped in my head, and it's honestly because I would like to stand that tall, like just stand, like something about
Ooh.
the flamingo confidence. I was like, I'm probably a
Right,
flamingo.
right. That confidence and that elegance, right? Very good, very good. All right, next. Chocolates or vanilla?
Oh, chocolate.
The beaches or the mountains?
Ooh, mountains.
Cats or dogs?
My dog all day.
All right. Yeah. Shaved or bearded?
Bearded?
A passenger or a driver?
Oh, driver.
What is the weirdest food you ever tried?
Ever tried? Oh, the very human nature of me. I don't try a lot of things that I don't. I like if I'm like so I'm trying to think. I'm very routine, you all. Very routine. Stick to the status.
When you were a kid, like the weirdest thing that you ever ate.
Oh, that was
What
definitely
was it?
asparagus then, but I like it now.
All right, okay. So I mentioned kid when you were a kid. When you were a kid, what was something that is always in your bag?
In my bag, it definitely had to be like a book bag. Yeah, it definitely had to be like pencils and books. I was definitely a nerd. I'm a proud nerd.
Right, right. How about now? What is something that you always have with you when you go out before COVID happened?
Definitely my cell phones. I don't think you can go anywhere without them. Um, so outside of the cell phone, it's the credit cards.
Nice, nice. You mentioned cell phone. What's the favorite app for you?
Ooh, my favorite app is definitely Twitter, y'all.
Ooh,
Twitter
right,
has
right.
me laughing.
All right. Favorite weather?
Ooh, I'm a spring season person, so I definitely like warm rain.
Okay. So this is another, could be serious. It depends on how you're gonna answer this. Okay. If you have the power to bring back someone back from the dead, who would it be and why?
From the dead.
For a moment there, I thought you were
You
gone.
thought
The
I was
connection was
dead.
gone. I was like, is she still there? You're not moving. All right, let me repeat that. You scared me. I was like, did the Wi-Fi just gone? All right. If you have the power to bring back someone back from the dead, who would it be and why?
So personally, it would be my grandfather.
Okay.
And that is because that man just showed me so much in such a short period of time. He passed away when I was 5, but I understood confidence. I understood how to walk in the room. I learned like you belong here. I learned right and wrong. He was a police officer. So personally, it would be him. Why? Because I love him. Um, Impact wise, I haven't gotten over Chadwick's passing. So I would love to bring him back because I just felt like he has so much more to give the world. But we are so thankful for everything that he has given in the meantime.
Ooh, I love that. I love that story. And things happen for a reason. So whatever happens, we may not understand why it did happen, but in the right moment, I believe that everything will be fully understood. If not, then there's a big reason why, right?
Mm-hmm. And I think he still had a great impact. That's the thing. Like to pass and not impact anyone, that's a different conversation.
Right, right. Well, Safiya, I had so much fun. Thank you for being such a good sport. Thank you for sharing us those wonderful stories. Feel free to promote your projects, any projects, social media accounts, releases that you have. The floor is yours. Promote them.
Awesome. Thank you. Again, thank you for the floor. Thank you for this conversation. Thanks for working this out. I know everything comes together when it does. So, to promote, I have a book, as he said, author, and the book is called Discover Your Dollars and Restructure Your Riches. And I am on Amazon. So, that platform is everywhere. So, if you look for the book, it's a workbook to get your mindset coming together. That journaling piece that I was talking about. When it comes to socials, you can find me on Save with Safiya everywhere. And my name's spelled Safiya. She always finds in you awesomeness. Um, so just dropping that on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter as well. And LinkedIn is Safiya Parker. So that is all of my platforms. October is Stacktober. November is Say No November. And Don't Ask Me December. You can have control over your money. I believe in you all.
Wow. The branding that you came up. It was so solid. I love it. And thank you for showing the book and promoting the book. We accept free books from our guests. No, I'm
I
just
love
kidding.
that.
Thank you so much. Guys, feel free to connect with Safiya. If you want to achieve success and peace in life, I believe and we believe that financial literacy is something that you really need to invest on. So feel free to connect with Safiya. She's a wonderful person, very kind and intelligent. She will help you and guide you along the way. Guys, feel free to listen to our podcast. You can find it in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes. We have socials in Instagram, Facebook, and also our growing YouTube channel. Just search in the Creative Talk Podcast. Again, Safiya, thank you so much for being such a wonderful, wonderful person. I've learned a lot and I enjoyed having a conversation with you on cam and off cam. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So this is the Creative Talk with me, John Santos, and our guest for today, Safiya Parker. Thank you. Stay safe. Bye.